Chapter 19. How to apologize properly. Sincerity, responsibility, and the art of making things right. Part 1. The purpose and power of an apology. People crave an apology, not for the sake of sentiment, but because a real apology gives them confidence that the harm inflicted will not happen again. When someone wrongs you, what matters most isn't the hurt itself, but the promise that you won't be hurt that way again. An effective apology is your insurance policy against future harm. A proper apology does more than just acknowledge the mistake. It creates a mental contract for a brighter, safer future. It tells you, the aggrieved, that the person who wronged you understands exactly what harm was done. They must recognize the specific actions or words that caused you pain. Why it was unfair. They need to acknowledge that what they did was not just unfortunate, but unjust. How the harm occurred. A clear explanation of the circumstances, which shows they've thought it through. Why it shouldn't happen again. They must promise, concretely, that they will adjust their behavior. How they will prevent future harm. Specific, proactive measures must be outlined to ensure that this mistake isn't repeated. Why preventing harm is important to them. This isn't a generic promise. It's a commitment tied to their values and self-respect. This multi-layered approach isn't just about covering your bases. It's about rebuilding trust so that you feel safe entering into future cooperative interactions with them. Without it, any apology risks being nothing more than empty lip service. Part 2. Sincerity is non-negotiable. An apology that isn't sincere is as good as no apology at all. Sincerity is the linchpin that holds the entire process together. When someone offers a half-hearted apology or fills it with excuses, it undermines their commitment to change. Even if they say, "I'm sorry," repeatedly, if they don't mean it, you're likely to be hurt again. Consider this. If you love your car, you notice every little sound it makes. People who care about something are more mindful, more sensitive, and more likely to take corrective action when something's off. Apply that to your relationships. When someone wrongs you, if their apology is full of buts and ifs, excuses that dilute responsibility, it sends a signal that they haven't internalized the lesson. Every excuse they offer distances them further from taking real corrective action. Ultimately, these excuses erode trust, leaving you with the bitter certainty that you might be hurt all over again. Part 3. The anatomy of a great apology. A truly effective apology is stripped of any dumbass excuses. It must be direct, clear, and actionable. Let's break down what a great apology looks like. Acknowledgement of the harm. Sir, I'm sorry I was late. I understand how important it is that I show up on time. Explanation. Without excuses. Instead of saying, "My car usually starts, but," a proper apology avoids shifting blame. It should recognize the error without hiding behind circumstances. A commitment to change. Here are the steps I'm taking to ensure this never happens again. I will verify that my car starts well in advance of the time I need to leave. I'm going to fill up my car the night before, so unexpected delays are minimized. I have backup plans in place, like working from home if weather conditions prevent me from reaching the office on time. Explanation of why this matters. This is important to me because I value our time and the opportunity you've given me. I'm committed to showing up reliably because I respect you and our relationship. This isn't mere lip service. It's a carefully constructed plan that shows you're willing to invest extra effort to correct your mistake. The fewer the excuses and the more the focus on concrete action, the more trust is rebuilt. Part 4. Excuses. The bane of apologies. Every minute a wrongdoer spends explaining why they didn't mean to or couldn't help it is a minute that drives them further from genuine corrective action. Excuses might make a person feel temporarily absolved, but they signal to you that they haven't learned anything. The moment they start rationalizing their behavior, They're effectively giving you permission to expect the same behavior in the future. In short, excuses devalue the apology and the trust that comes with it. When someone overburdens their apology with a litany of but statements, they weaken their credibility. Instead of reinforcing their commitment to change, they undermine it, leaving you with a lingering fear that the harm will repeat itself. Part 5. Taking responsibility equals gaining power. Taking responsibility is the cornerstone of personal power. When you own up to your mistakes and make a real commitment to change, you not only build trust with others, you also empower yourself. A person who refuses to accept responsibility effectively renders themselves powerless. If you insist that external factors caused your lapse, you leave no room for improvement or growth. Conversely, if you say, "I'm responsible, and I will do everything in my power to fix this," you take control of the narrative. This shift transforms you from a liability into an asset, someone who is dependable and capable of learning from their errors. In the professional world, this is the difference between being fired for repeated mistakes and rising to the top because you consistently rectify your shortcomings. Part 6. Beyond the apology. Real-world implications and contexts. In personal relationships. A proper apology in personal relationships isn't just about mending fences. It's about creating an environment where both parties can move forward without the fear of recurring harm. When you apologize properly, you're giving your partner the assurance that they won't have to endure the same pain again. This builds a foundation for long-term cooperation and intimacy. However, if an apology is loaded with excuses or fails to include a clear plan for the future, it leaves your partner with a nagging doubt, an ever-present risk that the mistake will happen again. In that case, it might be better to recognize the insincerity and, if necessary, move on, rather than giving a second chance to someone who won't change. In professional settings. In the workplace, apologies have immediate and far-reaching implications. A poor apology not only damages your reputation, it can also undermine team cohesion and productivity. Leaders who take responsibility for their mistakes and outline actionable solutions tend to earn far more respect than those who offer half-assed excuses. When you apologize properly in a professional context, you signal that you're committed to continuous improvement, which in turn fosters trust and cooperation among your colleagues. Under pressure, apologizing in high-stakes situations. Sometimes the stakes are incredibly high, like when dealing with authority figures or during crises. In these moments, a weak apology can have severe consequences, not just for you, but for everyone involved. Whether you're facing a critical error on the job or a personal blunder with serious ramifications, a solid apology can diffuse tension and prevent further harm. The key is to remain calm, sincere, and focused on practical steps for remediation. Your credibility in these situations depends entirely on how well you can convert your remorse into a plan that protects others from future mistakes. Part 7. The ripple effect: how apologies shape our world. When someone apologizes properly, it's not just a personal victory, it's a societal win. Every time a person takes full responsibility for their actions and commits to doing better, it sets a higher standard for all of us. It reduces the likelihood of repeated harm and contributes to a more trustworthy and cooperative environment. On the flip side, when people offer excuses, they not only harm you, they harm everyone by normalizing irresponsible behavior. Think of it like this. A genuine apology is like a repair that prevents a leak from turning into a flood. It gives you confidence in the future, knowing that the source of harm has been addressed at its root. Without sincere apologies, we're left with a world where mistakes are repeated, trust is eroded, and everyone ends up paying the price. Part 8. Final reflections. Crafting apologies that lead to a better future. The ultimate goal of any apology is to pave the way for a future free from the harm of past mistakes. It's about ensuring that you, as a reasonable person, feel secure enough to cooperate and move forward, whether in a friendship, a professional relationship, or a romantic partnership. A good apology is not just a set of words. It's a commitment to action, a blueprint for how things will be different next time. Remember, sincerity is non-negotiable. Every element of your apology, from the acknowledgement of what went wrong to the proactive steps you outline for the future, must be imbued with genuine remorse and commitment. Cut out the excuses, own your mistakes, and channel that responsibility into making a real change. In doing so, you not only protect yourself, but also contribute to a world where trust and accountability reign supreme. Now go forth and master the art of the apology. Let every sincere word you speak serve as a testament to your commitment to excellence and integrity. When you apologize properly, you don't just mend a broken relationship. You build a stronger, more resilient future for everyone involved.